It's a pleasure to have you back here on the Tonny and Tim show. I'm Tony.
And I'm Tim.
And welcome back from that very, very long weekend of football that ended last night. Of course, we had the last game played, Manchester United hosting Stoke there at Old Trafford. But a weekend that had a lot of goals, a lot of entertainment, and for very many neutral fans, very, very big entertainment on Sunday evening as Liverpool hosted Manchester City, beating them 4-3 at Anfield.
Yeah, beating Man City 4-3. This game could have ended maybe 4-1 or 4-4 Tony, but it was built to be a classic, a thriller, a showdown, and it met all the definitions given to it.
Of course, it certainly met all expectations. We expected that this will be the time that Manchester City will be tested in this league. They hadn't lost a game prior to that, of course, in over 22 games this season alone, and that showed the height of expectation. But Liverpool came into this game looking almost like a better side, for lack of a better word, and it showed in the way the teams were set up from the beginning. But very big news at the beginning of that game, Van Dijk missing out through injury while warming up.
Yeah, Tony, the moment we had Van Dijk will not be playing, I mean, there was that worry. What is Liverpool going to do? How are they going to
approach the game?
Exactly. And also on the City side, I think they had planned how to face this giant of a man. But both teams were going to have a high press game. We had even mentioned that in the previous episode. And it was the team with the best press who was going to take the day. And no doubt, Liverpool pressed better and took the day.
It was very interesting to see from Liverpool, standing pressing. Don't you think it caught Guardiola out at some point? He almost looked like he was surprised by how they were playing, especially in the
first half. Tony, actually just mentioned Guardiola. He seemed to be applauding his players every time he conceded a goal, trying to woo them back into the game.
Trying to tell them, guys, it's okay.
But he looked beaten. He looked beaten.
He definitely, the body language coming from him, and he had a surprise pick in his side as well, picking Ilkay Gundogan for this game. A player that has not had a lot of games, especially the big games, coming in for David Silva, who was on the bench.
Tony, any day, I think David Silva should be starting ahead of Gundogan. I thought initially maybe the family issues of Gundogan Silva could have had him off, but when I saw him on the bench, then it meant that he's available to play. And I thought Pep got it wrong there. Maybe tried to mind play his opponent Klopp, but I think he got it wrong there.
Did Klopp get everything right by asking Liverpool to press from the first minute? Because they looked like they had a lot of energy in the midfield. Emre Can was all over the place. Wijnaldum was all over the place, and Chamberlain pushing himself into what we call now the Fabulous Three. Is it deserving of a place in the Fabulous Four?
No, I think the gap Pochettino has left will not be filled, but we can say the Fabulous Three is still there. Tony, Firmino, Salah, and Sadio Mane. That is
they were very seamless. They were terrific that game. Salah could have had 2 goals. Mane could have had 2 goals. Firmino, a player that we have said is underrated, might have had 2 goals for himself as well. It was a brilliant performance from Liverpool, especially with those 3 goals coming in less than 8 minutes.
And the one stat, Tony, I want us to note in this show. Chamberlain had the best game of his life in both Arsenal and Liverpool.
He certainly had a very, very brilliant game. He was pulling the stops every time. He was fighting for the ball. He looks like a more improved player under Jurgen Klopp in just less than half a season. And it looks like he hasn't been playing like that at Arsenal. Is there a problem somewhere at Arsenal in terms of motivating this player?
I think there is a problem in Arsenal, Tony, because every player who goes into Liverpool seems to up his game. And then you look at the game and like, okay, maybe it's the coach. And the club is such a motivator. He's a charismatic guy, and I think every single player wants to play for this guy because it gets the best out of you, Tony.
Did we see the best and worst of Liverpool in this game?
Yes, we did. We said Liverpool, they win. These are their wins. It's a high score win because they will always concede. There's that common stat about Liverpool. Tony, at 4-1, with 10 minutes to go, you should be able to see off this game. If the opponent team is to score, maybe 2 goals, Tony.
It was complex, of course, and at the last, almost at the death, Aguero coming up with a very scary header. For everyone who was watching the game, of course, we wanted Man City to have some type of opposition. They've been running away at 62 points now. The gap has though now come down to 12 points from 15. Was a very morale boosting loss for Man City and for the rest of the league. They will be looking at this result and thinking maybe if we give it a go next time.
Yes, Tony, I mean this result, all the other 19 teams will look into this game and try to approach Man City in this way. Yes, you cannot be that...
cannot press them 90 minutes.
Not all teams can press the way Liverpool does, but it gives you some hope that these guys are not invisible. They cannot run away leaders. So I believe teams should start fighting this City side instead of giving them this respect of going to sit back and say, guys, come and beat us now.
Very interesting there, of course. One more thing I wanted us to point out in this game, did we see two goalkeepers that had a very bad day in the office?
Yeah, Tony, now
Is Ederson that poor, or was it just a bad day for him?
It was, I think, a bad day for Ederson. I've seen Ederson a bit, and he's a guy who can hold the ball. But his key aspect why he was bought is to play that Guardiola thing of start from the back. Now, I don't know Ederson's favorite foot. Is it the left or right?
The left foot.
Exactly. That's
remember, he used to be a left back when he was 15 years old.
That's why I can't blame him with the Salah goal, because he tries to clear with his right foot. So that made me say maybe he uses weaker foot, so it didn't come out well. But his positioning for the first goal also makes me say he's not good with his hands. So Ederson seems not to be the best of goalkeepers to me.
Of course, I certainly have thought that maybe he hasn't been tested enough in the early parts of the season. It was a very brilliant game. All of you that watched it, 7 goals in this one. We might have even had more. It was a very high scoring game. Lots of action there. And of course, earlier on Sunday, we had another very big shock of Arsenal losing to Bournemouth away from home. Bournemouth beating them 2-1.
Tony, I don't know where to start from, because it seems every time we go into the season, we shall have the same talk about Arsenal. This team has lost their identity. First of all, they don't have world-class players. If Ozil and Sanchez don't come into the pitch. 2, they don't have leaders. And I can now confidently say Arsenal plays without the defense. Tony, Chambers and Holding, these guys cannot play in the Premier League, Tony.
Of course,
they were run by Nottingham Forest. And then a better side like Bournemouth to Nottingham Forest should also be able to win, which they did.
Of course, it was very interesting looking at the team that Arsenal put out. It almost looks like a relegation-threatened side. They didn't create a lot of chances. Of course, it was a big win for Bournemouth. And Eddie Howe, the first game that they've beaten Arsenal in the Premier League era. They've never done that before. And also, there was a first goal for Jordan Ibe. He hadn't scored in a Bournemouth strike in the Premier League.
And this is the pain, Tony, that I think Arsenal fans cannot take. It seems every statistic is now happening against you. One player takes a full year and a half without scoring, and he scores against Arsenal. Eddie Howe has never beaten Wenger, and he has one over him. So until when? There is only one shining light when I watch this Arsenal side, and that's Jack Wilshere. My only worry is this is the player who has been on loan
to Bournemouth.
And then the next season, Tony, he is the best player in Arsenal. Then you ask yourself, the guys who stayed back, they are not up their game. Were they better? So there's a lot in Arsenal that
we've talked about Arsenal problems. Lacazette in front, he's not scoring goals. He hasn't had a goal in almost 10 games now. It's a big worry.
Tony, I want to come to the defense of Lacazette. I think Lacazette is a quality player. He doesn't have supply. He does not have. He has to come to the midfield. If you watch the game, Tony, Lacazette was coming to the center to try and pull strings before he makes it to the box.
It's January, Timothy, right now. What does Arsenal have to do? They find themselves 5 points behind Spurs, who are in 5th place. That's far off the pace.
Tony,
far off the pace.
There is nothing Arsenal can do. And I want to say, guys, please, because which players want to go to Arsenal? They are not big players when they go to Arsenal, Tony.
Sanchez is almost certainly
Sanchez
leaving.
almost leaving, and he was to, with the United deal, what is it to happen? Mkhitaryan is supposed to be the neck weight. But Raiola has come out today saying, until my player accepts to move to Arsenal, then only we can start discussing this move of Sanchez and Mkhitaryan next year. So since there's no player comfortable going, they have all seen what happens to players there.
Is the problem the coach?
Yes.
And is this the final season that Wenger finally has to retire?
Wenger himself has to sit down and realize he has overstayed his World Cup.
Of course, it was a very, very interesting game for the neutrals that love seeing Arsenal being beaten. Of course, Arsenal fans were singing that finally their 49 unbeaten record will stand after that Man City loss. But they got a humbling earlier in the day. This game, Arsenal shouldn't be losing games like this. They suddenly look like a pale side. They look like a shadow of their former self.
And Tony, this Arsenal team is now about 8 points away from
the top 4 spot.
The top 4 spot. They are 5, I think, behind
Spurs, 5th place.
And I'm starting to say, in a week
no
or
Champions
two,
League for them.
No Champions League. And in a week or two, Tony, I think we have to stop using the word top 6
and top 5.
Let's talk top 5.
Of course, the rest of the top 5, we had Chelsea starting the weekend with a draw at home against Leicester 0-0. That game, not having a lot of chances in that one. Morata looking off pace in this one, and Leicester having the better chances.
Yeah, Tony, Leicester had the better of the chances in this game. They should have won it, but after getting the red card, I think they said let's settle to a draw and take a point out of Stamford.
Which was suddenly a big point.
It was a big point for them. But Tony, this Chelsea side, the last 3, I think 4 games, they've drawn all of them. They seem to be out of steam. They have nothing to put on table. Chelsea usually threatens. You can draw a game, Tony, and you pick up like 4 or 5 chances where you almost scored. I bet there's no chance you can recall that Chelsea almost won the game.
This game was interesting because Morata, number 9, is a player that had only 3 touches in the opposition box.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you how far off their pace is and how much they've dipped. Of course, the talk around the coach leaving at the end of the season doesn't help the players.
It doesn't help.
And of course, it has distracted them a little bit. And I think that's why they're falling off the pace. But they had tried to push, and now Liverpool find themselves ahead of Chelsea on goal difference.
Yeah.
But it's a big gap that had to be closed for Liverpool.
It was a big gap
to come and go ahead of this.
And Chelsea also should start worrying. And if there's any chance for Tottenham or Arsenal, I think the primary target
should be Chelsea. And of course, Tottenham themselves, who are chasing the leading pack, the top 4, had a very, very brilliant win, hosting Everton and beating them 4-0. Harry Kane getting 2 goals in that one. We said he needed a goal to equal Teddy Sheringham's record at Spurs. He got 2.
Yeah, and we even say that, Tony, when Harry Kane has a record in sight to break, he always tries to equal and break it, and 2 goals immediately he has his new record. And that day he set 2 records. He became the 3rd player, I think, to score 20 goals plus
in a season, in 3 consecutive
seasons. He's in very good company of Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry. So this guy, Tony,
is Harry Kane world class?
Without trophies, Tony, no. He's in good company.
That conversation will certainly keep going on, but Everton had a bad day at the office.
Yep.
They did look like they did turn up for this one, and it must have been a shocker for Big Sam.
He was frustrated.
He was very frustrated looking at the end of the game there, almost trying to berate his players.
Yeah.
He didn't expect this kind of attack.
He did not only, even as we didn't expect. We thought he was going to lose this game, but Big Sam likes losing honorably, at least 1-0, 2-0. He can just defend. I don't know what happened to this Everton side in that they opened a lot of spaces. They were just being overrun.
And of course, we expect Big Sam sides to be compact at the back. He showed it at Crystal Palace and earlier on at Bolton. Back in the day, he used to have very compact sides. If you're to beat him, it's a 1-0, 2-0. But of course, Harry Kane and Spurs currently have very, very good form, and they can beat anyone if they turn up on the day.
Yeah, Tony, when these guys play, they really turn up well.
Of course, very, very interesting there. Of course, Spurs now keeping up the pace with the top 4 sides, looking like the only contender for that top 4 spot, really. After Arsenal has showed a deficiencies and inconsistencies. But Manchester United keeping up the pace on Monday night with that 3-0 win over Stoke at Old Trafford. 50 points now, 12 behind Man City. That gap cut certainly to 12 from 15.
Yeah, Tony, if you are affiliated to Man United, it was a good result for them because it cuts the gap to 12. And again, you try to hope that maybe in a week or two, Man City drop points and comes to a single digit. Maybe there you start playing, saying they're still on side. We can still see them. Maybe we can. But perfect goal, Tony, from Valencia. I've not seen him score with his left leg, but this was beautifully taken. And then Martial was known him for taking
delightful goals.
And then I think also Lukaku did a reward in that game. He had tried to work. I saw him dropping back, picking balls, passing in front, and getting a goal. I think summarized the day. Not forgetting, Tony, the save from De Gea. I mean, we mentioned all these front players, but De Gea has been a man for United. Just before halftime, it should have been 2-1. After Shaqiri had that beautiful shot, but De Gea just can't let him things behind him.
Of course, we keep saying De Gea is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world right now, and he's been Manchester United's best player in the past 3 seasons.
Yeah.
If you ask me, very many offers are coming in from Real Madrid and they've been deflected. They want him to sign a new 5-year deal at Manchester United. He's certainly a player that they must keep if they are to keep their chances. And of course, they are in the market trying to get Sanchez away from Arsenal. He's a player that looks like a good addition, but I don't know where he'll fit in Manchester United if he's to come into that side.
If Sanchez was a number 7, I would have said
bring him today.
Take him to United. But it's gonna cause more confusion in the left wing. Already there is confusion between Martial and Rashford, and you're adding very exciting player. I don't know what Mourinho wants in that guy.
Why can't these two guys learn how to play a number 7 role?
I don't know how academy strength players.
These guys are looking very rigid.
There is a free slot in number 7.
Everyone can see
any
it.
United player, Mata is trying to fill in that spot. He is not.
Mata is natural, right?
It's not natural. You look at these guys with trickery and pace, and you're like, one of you take that, but none of them do. None.
Very interesting there. Of course, Manchester United tried to keep the pace at the top behind Manchester City. Very interesting weekend with a lot of goals going in there. We had other morale boosting wins around the league. Of course, big wins for West Ham and of course suddenly David Moyes winning Huddersfield by a big 4-1 win.
It was a surprising result, Tony. United lost at Huddersfield, Tony, but Moyes comes with 4 goals, and then you ask yourself, West Ham is surviving. These guys have turned all the tables and they are going to the right path.
Another person that certainly looks like they'll survive now is Crystal Palace. They had a very fantastic win, 1-0 against Bournemouth.
Well done, Roy.
Bakary Sakho's form keeps going.
Yeah, Sakho is scoring. I mean, I don't know when we last saw Sakho scoring goals. He's now playing like he's been in the team for the entire career. So, Tony, well done, Roy Hodgson. He's done a perfect job.
Another very big win we had in that one was West Brom getting a first win in almost more than 20 games. And the first win for Alan Pardew. They beat Brighton 2-0 in that game.
Yeah, Tony, I thought Alan Pardew needed a reward.
It was a long time coming. He has been trying.
He's a coach who works hard and he's an admired British coach. And I thought it was time for him to win, and thanks, he got the win.
Of course, it was very, very brilliant there. We had lots, like I said, we had a lot of goals. You need to check all those goals out. You need to check all those predictions that we sent you, and we would like to thank you for all the predictions that you gave us. Very interestingly though, in Spain, Timothy, Barcelona, it looks like they'll break away with this trophy now that Madrid find themselves 19 points behind at this stage.
I think this one is done and dusted. 19 points, Tony, with Barcelona. You don't expect them to lose more than 2 games.
These are almost 6 games that they have to lose.
So I think this one is done and dusted. My worry, Tony, is when does Real Madrid pull the plug? When will Perez come and say,
We've had it now.
It's time to go?
It's been a very, very frustrating season for Real Madrid fans. For Cristiano Ronaldo himself, Bale has not had a good season, out and in with injuries. The players that looked like a very, very good side at the beginning, Marco Asensio has dipped in form too much. Isco has dipped in form. I don't know where this Madrid side find themselves. But if it were up to me, I would give Zidane a chance to complete this season. Team.
Tony, Zidane, to complete the season, you have to look at the table and then figure out will he be.
He has to take them to Champions League. If he can't take them to Champions League, then he certainly cannot be
And
there.
for me, Tony, to take Madrid to Champions League is not to have a Champions League playoff. You have to be number 1, 2,
Or three,
worst
man.
case 3. So yes, it will become 4 maybe and go through. But this is Real Madrid we're talking about.
They can't play Champions League
So
playoff.
Atletico Madrid. So Zidane has to change. I would simply tell him, out of 5 games, win 4. If he gets 3, I say thank you. But he has to start winning, Tony.
He definitely needs to start winning. There was a very, very interesting, of course, occurrence in France with PSG taking on Nantes, that game ending 1-0. But at the end, the referee tripping over a player and yellow carding that player for the second time and giving him a red card.
I keep watching that game and I ask myself, what punishment do referees get? I think this guy shouldn't even be suspended. His career should be ended. That is violent conduct. When a player pushes the referee, it's heavily punished. But when a referee does this,
Kicking at the player.
this is unacceptable. He should be Tony, I think, banned from the game and then his career just ends.
Of course, the Nantes president there is calling for a 6-month ban for this referee. We'll follow that story for you. But we had a lot of interesting things. We would like to thank you for watching. We'd like to thank you for liking the Facebook page. We've had an overwhelming support over the past couple of days. And we'd like to encourage you to keep watching our videos, like the Facebook page, share our content, send us your comments, your predictions, and all how you think your team is faring. And check out our YouTube channel as well, the Tonny and Tim Show. Still, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to see you subscribing to that channel as well. And that's all we had for you on the show tonight. Thank you and goodbye for now.
Goodbye.